power and fuel supply situation is indeed worrisome for a nation aspiring to achieve middle-income status. And as we all know, energy is the lifeline of any economy. So while some logistical issues can be addressed quickly, sustainable improvement would depend on adequate foreign exchange allocation, investment in infrastructure, and maintaining strong relationships with our neighboring countries and key stakeholders in energy sector. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I therefore call for collective commitment from all players to implement the immediate restoration and expansion plans I have outlined. My ministry is currently seized with overseeing an immediate return to fuel supply normalcy. This will be speedily achieved. I repeat, this will be speedily achieved. Together, we can stabilize our energy sector and power Malawi's path to industry and prosperity. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Energy, for the boldness in presenting the statement to the House. The chair is being tempted to score the women ministers that have so far presented their ministerial statement a highest score so far. Can I request the Honourable House for a hand of applause to the Honourable Minister for the job well done. Honourable members, I will welcome questions that seek clarifications, no debate. I see Honourable Jinteche rising. Is that in Honourable Nkadabe Jinteche, you are the first to take a question to the Honourable Minister. Then Lilongwe Nyanja. Then we'll go to Baraka Ngwangwa. In that order, please.
First Deputy Speaker, first of all, as a Tonga man, I'm tempted to appreciate the elegance and the appearance of the Honourable Minister of Energy, because that is in our culture. If you go to Nkadabe, the first thing they will judge you on is your appearance. That matters a lot, political or otherwise. So let me appreciate the elegance of all the honourable women here and the honourable men who are putting on good suits. Honourable Deputy Minister, Honourable Deputy Minister, Honourable Deputy Speaker, First Deputy Speaker, thank you. First Deputy Speaker, let me appreciate the statement by the Honourable Minister of Energy. On July 1964 AD, there was a great fire in Rome. At that time, the emperor was Nero. And he was accused of doing nothing while the city was in flames. He was playing fiddle while Rome is burning. When somebody tells you that you are playing fiddle while Rome is burning, it means there are problems, but you are doing nothing. So let me appreciate the Honourable Minister by saying that they will normalize the fuel situation in the country. There are people who are holding the economy at ransom. It's good that you say that you unleash the security agents to make sure that this malpractice ends. But I want to ask you, what measures will you put in place to make sure that our laws align with this? Because at one point, we changed the laws to do with vandalism of ESCOM ESCOM equipments, we raise the fines. So in fuel, those who are involved in vending fuel, once they are caught, because most of the time, the fuel is just confiscated, but nothing is done, they continue the next day. So as a government, what measures are you going to put in place to make sure that this problem is dealt with for once and for all? Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Your Honor, the First Deputy Speaker. Allow me to appreciate a good statement which has been ably presented by the Minister of Energy. Listening to the Minister of Energy and Mining, she did touch on the need for the megawatts that we can access as a country in terms of hydro. She also touched on solar as well as diesel. I would like to find out from, through you, the First Deputy Speaker, are there plans for this country to also oscillate towards geothermal? Because some of these things we've tried, but they're not giving us meaningful impact. As a country, there are times we need to rise above petty political bickerings and whatnot, and to think of the next generation so that our nation gets to sit to the levels that it's supposed to get. So I would like to find out, in terms of hydro, you've ably touched. Are there plans for the country or your ministry to also consider geothermal? Because from the point of drilling to the time we're going, let's make it the time you're going to commercialize the same. It's about 4 to 6 years, and it's more reliable than other things. I would like to play as a country, and as someone who is sitting there, to consider going geothermal. So basically, through you, Your Honor, the First Deputy Speaker, I thought that I needed to touch on that one. I understand that we are going to have background noise, because at times our IQs differ, and we have people who are not in government.
Thank you very much. Baraka Ngwangwa. Honourable members, can we stick to the 2-minute rule as stipulated in Standing Order 71 for our questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker. My question relates to the fuel supply aspect. First Deputy Speaker, this last Saturday, the Malawi newspaper carried a story in which they have indicated that DRC had donated 30 million liters of fuel. And from these 30 million liters of fuel, Tawanga Sabora, the reporter says, only 2.3 million liters reached Malawi. So there is a mystery on 27.7 million liters. Deputy Speaker, 27.7 million liters translate to 96 billion 950. And of diesel, petrol is 96 billion or so, like that. This is a big issue, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Now, I wanted to ask the minister to comment on this. There might be several possibilities. It might be possible that DRC didn't commit to its promise of donating the whole 30 million, or else it could be that the 27.7 million liters that we are talking about now is still on the way to Malawi. But we are talking of 2023 up to now. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I ask the minister to comment, because this is not a small issue. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Thank you very much. Let me guide the House before the minister takes the floor. Honourable Member for Baraka Ngwangwa, History has taught us that newspaper articles are not submissive as evidence to the House, but because the way you quoted it, you were so careful not to dwell on the newspaper article, but you made a reference to it. But submitting it as evidence in the House for the future newspaper article is not part of the evidence. Thank you very much. Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister.
Thank you. Honourable Deputy Speaker, sir. There was a question from Honourable Member of Parliament of Chinteche, Nkatabe Chinteche constituency, on what measures we're going to do as we are unleashing the security agencies to curb the malpractice in the fuel trade. What I can say that whatever we're going to do has to be done within the laws. And as a ministry, we'll make sure that I'm sure the security agents, the Malawi Army and the police, they know their limits. They know the parameters in which they're supposed to operate from. They know what they're supposed to do. But on our case, for sure, going forward, we'll make sure that we push for a review of the laws on how to curb fuel proliferation. That we're going to do. And obviously, we're going to do this in consultation with all relevant ministries. Secondly, there was a question from Honourable Member of Parliament from Lilongwe Nyanja constituency on our plans to add or to explore generating from geothermal. Yes, we do have those plans as a ministry, particularly around Chiweta area in the north. So we do have those plans to, actually as a ministry, we are open to explore all forms of generating fuel. We are open, as you know, most recently, LIPRI has just pushed in 10 megawatt from biomass. So we are open to all forms of generating fuel in this country. So to answer your question, yes, we are, and we are looking at exploring that in around Chiweta area. And Member of Parliament from Balaka Ngwangwa on the issue to do with fuel from DRC. I must say that you allow me, Honourable, to get back to you with more details. This happened in 2023. There will be another statement. This was in 2023, and I need, okay, and I need to answer. I need to answer with details. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will recognize the honourable member for Chitipa North, Mwanza Central, and the honourable member right at the back.
It's Lilongwe City.
Lilongwe City?
City Lumbats.
Or Lilongwe City Lumbas?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
let's take those three and then we'll move to the government side.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for recognizing Chipa North constituency. I also wanted to find out from the minister on the presentation she has made. I just wanted to find out, like, what measures have you put in place that there's equity in fuel distribution to reach out to the farthest place? Because usually in Chitipa, we have problems in getting fuel. We go sometimes for a month, no fuel, even if in town, there's fuel. So how are you going to make sure that there's equal distribution when we are normalizing fuel in town? And considering people from Chitipa that also have access to fuel. Thank you very much. I submit.
Mwanza Central.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Let me congratulate the Honorable Minister for a ministerial statement presented colorfully. Thank you very much. But I have a question, Honorable Minister. In your statement, you have indicated that there is a sharp increase in demand. I'm sure there's several possible reasons for that, but I wanted just to find out if at all your ministry is putting specific measures to probably explore, or rather to find other reasons besides the ones that you've explained in your statement. I'm looking at a possibility where fuel loaded at the port may not be getting into the country. There could be other dubious business people or politicians that probably were or may be involved in offloading fuel before it gets into the country. So I just want to find out, Honorable Minister, if at all you've explored that, and if at all there are measures that you've put in place to stop that. Thank you, Honorable Minister, thank you.
Thank you very much. Lilongwe Site, Lumba's constituents.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the people of Lumbadzi to ask a question and probably make a comment based on the ministerial statement. Let me join my colleague who has just sat down in congratulating the Honorable Minister for the report eloquently presented. It clearly demonstrates that as a nation, as a government, we are appreciating the existing challenge that we have regarding fuel, and therefore the statement provides some solace to the nation. First question, First Deputy Speaker, I'd like to make a clarification first before I come to the question, that I am not, through this question, trying to insinuate that members who are in this House are more important than the people out there that are suffering, looking for fuel. But when you look at the exercise that we are doing right now here, which has national significance, we have also been hit as members of parliament with the fuel crisis. And it's becoming very problematic for us to move up and down to come and deliberate in this August House. I wanted to find out from the Minister if arrangements could be made in the interim, as we are here, members of parliament, that somewhere else there could be an allocation of fuel for us to be filling. Otherwise, if the trend continues, we shall have a situation where no member of parliament is in this House because of challenge of fuel. Secondly, Honorable Deputy Speaker, is to talk about the Operation Bezan. I think from this fuel Operation Bezan, I think it's very clear from the statement that the target group in this case are those with Zigubu. But I wanted to really find out if this Operation Bezan is also going to target the actual filling stations. Because right now we have other filling stations who may claim that they have no fuel in their pumps, and yet if we go and deep stick, we shall find fuel in those filling stations. Are we going to ensure that also this malpractice is curbed through the Operation Bezan? Thank you so much, Deputy Speaker, sir.
I see, before the Minister, I see the Leader of Opposition. Why are you raising, Leader?
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, and congratulations. First Deputy Speaker, this is the House of record. I would like to make mention that in the respect of human rights and fundamental principles of freedom, either you are a member of parliament or just an ordinary person, we are all equal. I therefore stand to collect the statement that has just been issued by one of our members, because I know out there people would be thinking that members of parliament are given a special treatment, and then that will actually be misunderstood. So I hope I have clarified on this one. And 2, 3 more issues through you, First Deputy Speaker, and I hope I can be heard in silence. First Deputy Speaker, I have been in this house for some few days. The 2 statements presented before the House, I think one from Minister of Agriculture and today from Minister of Energy, you would actually see the sense of nationhood, the importance of their statements, and I think we are moving towards the right direction. Allow me, therefore, just to provide some 2, 3 clarifications. Number one is that the Mozambican government had already given us a place in Mozambique, and I am happy that the minister has picked it. Number 2 is that the automatic price mechanism will definitely mean that there will not be static prices of fuel, because it will be acted as is. Probably our interest as Malawians would be on how the minister will ensure that that does not translate into skyrocketing of prices of basic commodities, to avoid some people who would take that advantage and probably inflict pain on ordinary people. The third one, through you, First Deputy Speaker, is the issue of solar PH, where we are generating 101 megawatts, and that includes the Nanjoka. One of the problems that Malawi and many other African countries are facing is where we are duped, because we only focus on power generation. And then we don't focus that solar PH is one of the enablers that can give us carbon trading. And then as a result, the independent power producers enjoy 100% of our own carbon credits. And then
Honourable members, order.
First Deputy Speaker,
consider winding up.
First Deputy Speaker, I'm happy that they are able to appreciate. What I wanted is our able Minister of Energy would actually explore, because that would also help to reduce the huge capital investments that we give these independent power producers, because they generate, they feed into the main grid, they charge us, and that would be offset if we could be able also to charge them the tonnage of carbon CO2 equivalent that they produce, and in a very long end, Malawi tend to benefit. And as I conclude, First Deputy Speaker, I have really enjoyed the very brilliant, wise presentation that the Minister of Energy has presented. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Leader of Opposition, for those sentiments. I don't know, Leader of Opposition, I don't know what should I do. You seem to be withdrawing a question from a member who has their own constituency. Actually, the member is rising right now. Maybe leadership that side can guide the chair on what we should do.
First Deputy Speaker, he had 2 questions, and then I was clarifying on the first question, looking at the importance and the impact that question would actually bear on us as members of Parliament.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Energy.
Honorable Speaker, I wanted to make, in view of the clarification, if you can allow me.
Yeah, please clarify your question.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. In view of the clarification from my wonderful leader of opposition, I'd like to indicate that it is important for me to withdraw the first question. But my solace and my conviction still tells me that before asking the question, I clearly indicated that the question did not mean that we in this House are more important than the people out there. So I withdraw the statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Honour Minister, with that question withdrawn, please take note.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker. There was a question from Chitipa North, from Member of Parliament of Chitipa North constituency. Actually, I don't know whether it's a question, but I think she is bemoaning lack of equity where distribution of fuel is concerned in Chitipa. My comment would be that distribution of fuel should indeed be equally distributed across the country, and access of such should be equitable. And in our case, where pricing is concerned, it's the same across the country. From Chitipa to Nsanje, it is the same. So I think what remains there is for the distributors or the filling station owners to grab the opportunity, because the pricing is the same across the country. So I think what is needed is that there should be more traders in fuel in Chitipa who should take advantage of this and make sure that they get to the furthest point of this country. Second question came from Neno, Member of Parliament of Neno Central.
Mwanza Central.
I'm sorry, Mwanza Central, yes. Actually, the question was to check whether to ask us whether we've checked all reasons for the huge appetite, the recent huge appetite in fuel. What I can say is that yes, I narrated the reasons. Of course, one other reason is that we suspect there could be people that are trying to okay, let me say this. I don't want to be misquoted. I don't want to be misquoted. Yes, we have looked at many reasons, or many of the reasons that could be there that are causing this sharp increase of purchasing of fuel from our filling stations. And of course, that could be one of the reasons that trucks probably do offload fuel in neighboring countries and not in Malawi, taking advantage of the higher pricing in the neighboring countries as opposed to the prices in Malawi. But on our part, almost 80% of our fuels are traded in by NOCMA, or 80%, and 20% are traded by PIL. So on our part, we make sure that whatever is being traded, it has to be reconciled. Of course, we have heard that there could be other trucks that do not come in, and they just offload outside the country and come in, just do the papers and all that. It's something that is possible, so I think we'll explore that further, we'll check that further to see if that could be one of the reasons, but it's possible that could be one of the reasons. But what we have found out ourselves is what I just narrated in my statement. Thank you so much. Now on a comment from Lilongwe City, Lumbad's constituency. I like the word that you have used, Operation Bwezani. Yes, what I can say is that as a ministry, we're going to spare nobody. No one is going to be spared. So as we check the households, we're also going to check the filling stations. We are aware that some of these rackets also include the filling station owners. They are part of this. So no one is going to be spared. So the security agents are checking everywhere just to make sure that we stop this malpractice. And talking to leader of opposition on the carbon credits coming from solar generation. Yes, as a ministry, we do have, or we have developed a framework on carbon credit trading. And as you know, carbon credits is the in thing now. So we have developed that to make sure that we benefit from everything, whether it's solar, hydro, our forestries, we are exploring everywhere. And that would be also another way of getting forex, injecting forex into the country. So for sure, we know that we have solar, we do have some IPPs in solar that are operating off the grid, but we do have others that are injecting onto the grid. So whatever, whether it's off the grid or onto the grid, we have to make sure that we maximize. So we do have a framework that we have for all renewable energy. We do have, thank you. And you also touched on the skyrocketing of prices coming from application of the automatic price adjustment. Yes, that has to be checked. That has to be checked. But I think first things first. What needs to happen first is that we have to do the right thing, because all the mess is coming because of non-adherence to the price, the automatic price adjustment. So we need to do that so that we stabilize everything, and hopefully people are going to do the right things. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I think I've touched on all the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Allow me to recognize Blantyre, Mrs. Chichiri constituency.
Blantyre City, Chichiri, Mrs.
Yeah, Blantyre City, Chichiri, Mrs. constituency. Yes. I picked two from here. I'll go Rump West and then Karonga City. Karonga Town constituency, in that order, honour members.
Thank you very much. Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the voice of Blantyre City, Chichiri Misesa, to ask a question on a very, very important statement that has been made here by the able Minister of Energy. I would like to know or to understand from the Minister, because throughout her statements, she has talked about the electricity that has been generated through hydro and solar. So I'm looking at the Shire River where we extract our electricity. It might reach some point when the water levels might go down, and then we might have a number of challenges to have electricity being supplied in this country. And also, when we look at the solar energy, it relies on a number of batteries so that it operates, which means that it's not even reliable. In the coming near future, we might have also challenges. So I wanted to ask if the Minister is thinking of coming up with the generation of electricity using coal, because I've seen in other countries like US, they have benefited from that electricity. In England also, they have done the same. They have got a lot of benefits. I believe if we can manage it well, like how they do in other countries, by putting a larger exhaust so that the smoke should not reach the people on the ground, I think we can still have a reliable electricity that can solve this problem. So I would like to ask a minister if at all her ministry has got plans to use coal to generate electricity. Thank you.
Rumbi West.
First Deputy Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity once again for the people of Rumbi West to ask a question to the able minister who, to borrow the words from my uncle, appreciated her appearance and the statement. First Deputy Speaker, sir, we are nearing a very big program of FISIP. I wanted an assurance from the Minister of Energy if there is a discussion between her and her counterpart, the Minister of Agriculture, so that the fuel that is coming should enable quick delivery of FISIP, because we may be crying from the crisis that we have, and it is here for some time, but we might also be nursing another crisis of food insecurity next year if the cheapest fertilizer ever before in this country of 10,000 kwacha is not delivered in time. Just an assurance. Secondly, we have Fufu in Rumpi as you go to Chiweta, which has a potential to generate 200 megawatts. What is making it very difficult for the country to develop that fully after all the necessary feasibility studies were already completed in around 2017 or 2019? Lastly, First Deputy Speaker, sir, we have conflicting information from this House. We are celebrating the last cohort. I happened to be in that boat last time, where the government side then celebrated that we are saving a lot of money from G2G importation of fuel. Now, it shows that what we gotten was not true reflection of what is there. How much are we going to save? And what is really there to G2G? And in addition to that, as I finalize, we celebrated that a cargo train from Mozambique has reached Malawi, and it carried some fuel. Now we are struggling. From the statement of the able minister, it says that we can stay at Tanga or in Tanzania for 30 days and they charge 30,000 as demorages. What is happening with that? Did the previous government took away that train that they brought in this country so that this fuel crisis? As I sit down,
very much.
Can MERA revert to updates so that we reduce this line of people sleeping on filling stations where they will not access fuel, so that they can be updating whether we have at Chimsapo or in Chitipa.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member.
To do, so that people can be sleeping in homes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Karonga Town.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Finally, you have yielded the floor to Karonga Town constituency. I've been standing here for several times, but you have never recognized me. Thank you very much.
Honourable Member,
Mr.
Go straight to your question. Honourable Member, go straight to your question.
Deputy Speaker.
Desist from reflecting on the chair. Go straight to your question, Honourable Commissioner.
let me join the other honorable members for congratulating the honorable minister for her detailed ministerial statement. I have only two issues seeking clarification. The first one is I want her to maybe clarify or indicate more information as to how much stock do we have in country, in transit, and at the ports, and how much has the DPP government imported so far, maybe awaiting delivery. We wanted comfort from the minister so that perhaps people can be comforted. How much longer can we wait in the queues? Or how much longer can we wait until this situation is normalized? The second issue, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, is on, perhaps she may have answers now or tomorrow. I wanted to find out more on the LPG gas. People are queuing for LPG gas. We are actually moving away from using charcoal and using LPG gas. So what is the situation with regards to gas in the country? Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Perhaps you are going to give me a chance to give my maiden speech later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Every Honourable Member of this House will be given an opportunity for a maiden speech, as this House is for speaking. That's why we come here to debate issues, and I will make sure to recognize you when that time comes. Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker. There was a question from Honourable Member of Parliament from Blantyre City, Chichiri Misesa. Actually, rather a concern. The issue is, as a country, I think we have relied so much on, or solely, to a large extent, on hydro-generated power. Actually, about 96% of our power is hydro-generated. The rest is what we get from other sources. And the hydro is mainly on the Shire River. So I think his concern is that we may not be managing a risk there. What if in an event that water levels in Shire River go down, what would happen? Honourable Deputy Speaker, as a ministry, we are also exploring power plants off Shire River. And I think as shared by Honourable Member of Parliament Rumpi West, yes indeed, feasibility studies were done on South Rukuru River, that's Fufu, and it's about 260 megawatt. And we're also exploring on Bua River, about 80 megawatts. And of course, don't forget that we're also exploring other forms of power. But now, talking about coal-fired power, as much as we would want to go there full throttle, because we do have deposits of coal, a lot of that, Kamwamba, and up north, Chiweta, we do have deposits. We are also, we're exploring that, and I think I mentioned in my speech, we are looking at Kamwamba project of 300 megawatt coal-generated power. But at the same time, we're trying to see that we are in tandem with international protocol. Because as you know, management of pollution has to be done properly. And if we have to begin to earn the carbon credits, we'll have to make sure that we are, yes. So my answer is that we are exploring all forms, but we are also very careful on what we do with our management of pollution. Thank you so much. Then, Honorable Deputy Speaker, there was a question from Rumpi West again. I think I've answered the first one to do with Fufu, but the second one was to do with supply of fuel during distribution of fertilizer. Yes, as a ministry, we are aware that it is important that we supply adequate fuel. This is why I mentioned that on our part, I shared with you what is what is there now. Between now and Friday, be assured we're going to have enough fuel. And as a ministry, we are not sleeping. We're making sure that we get the Reserve Bank and the Minister of Finance prioritize forex to importation of fuel so that there is no gap. Because between now and Friday, there's that constant supply. And I can assure you that beyond Friday, we should see more trucks coming in. So we are engaging with Minister of Finance and RBM. Then there was a question, I don't know whether to call it a question, on G2G system of procurement versus open tender system. I think open tender systems allows for competitive dealings. Yeah, at least something is open and you are assured of value for money. Unlike whereby you just strike your deals with the one or two suppliers. So as a country, we are committed, as a government, we are committed to make sure that we do the right thing. We don't get conned by, so to say, readily available markets. So we'd rather open it up, let people compete, we get the best pricing, we get the best value for money. So we'd rather go for open tender as opposed to G2G. Yes. And there's also a question on where we are with the rail line from Tanzania, from Mozambique to Malawi. I will not comment on what was discussed in other sittings, but I think in my comment, in my statement, I mentioned that we have continued to engage the neighboring countries, and more so Mozambique, for us to acquire land in Nacala, so that at least we construct our own storage facilities. And as you know, Nacala into Malawi, Liwonde is closer. Then we're also exploring that route to see if we can get that project done. Let's get a rail line from Nacala straight into Liwonde. That's the plan of this government. You have also Member of Parliament Rumpi East, Rumpi West, yes. Yes, MERA, we'll get MERA to resume giving updates to the nation. It is important indeed for planning reasons and of course to avoid, to lessen speculations. So it is very important that MERA does that. So thank you so much on that. Karonga Central, there was a question.
Karonga Town.
Town Council, okay.
At International Christian Assembly, ICA, we believe as the world is moving digital, we too have to move digital. Using your smartphone, tablet or laptop, you can now access all ICA messages on the following platforms: YouTube, ICA Lilongwe YouTube channel, Facebook, International Christian Assembly, ICA, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. The messages are also available on CAN Radio and CAN TV. International Christian Assembly, ICA, a house of prayer for all nations.